Both Okolie and Chamberlain are weighed in. They are ready to go. Johnny, things are hotting up nicely.
Anna, it's nearly fight time. We cannot wait. We've got two unbeaten Londoners with a score to settle.
You've never seen this.
Talk too much, man. Don't come close to me like this, big man. Don't come close to me like this, big man.
What?
You're getting way too big for your boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size toes on my feet. Your face ain't big for my boots. Kick up the U.
These are the type of risks you have to take to be a champion. This is my life, man.
I'm gonna train so hard, I'm gonna knock him out cold.
Who? You know what eyes at? I don't know what eyes at.
When I come round there like a bad boy, do it.
You're gonna feel shot 1, shot 2. Oh my God, this actually hurts.
In one interview, he was like, "Who's Isaac?" Now you know.
Welcome to our big fight preview. We've got so much Johnny to look forward to in the year ahead. More shows, plus digital and social interaction around all the big fights. Okolie versus Chamberlain. This is just the start.
You know what, we're getting up close and personal. The boys are there behind us. The fans are there getting closer to the fighters as well. We want the views and opinion of the fans on everything. And I know for a fact, when it comes to boxing fans, they are never shy in coming forward with their opinion and how they think the fight's going to go. What's most important is everybody gets involved. Everybody has an opinion. It creates an argument between a mum and her son. And I like this kind of thing. It's a great atmosphere.
Definitely, we want to hear from you. And it's a fight that has really grabbed your attention. You're excited about it, and it's a fight that's really built over recent weeks, isn't it?
Without a doubt, these guys, you know, they're at a stage in their career where they don't need to take this fight, but they want to prove something. One's from South London, one's from East London. These fighters want to say, you know what, I'm going to be king of the hill. But I actually think these fighters have still got life after this fight. Whoever loses, he might learn the bigger lesson out of this, because they'll think, right, this is what I've got to do to be a champion down the line. So I think it's a great time for these guys to clash.
Well, what have Okolie and Chamberlain got to say for themselves before this big fight? And he's got some hand to find out.
There's no love lost in the build-up between the two fighters, and a very intense head-to-head. Lawrence, what did you see when you looked into Isaac Chamberlain's eyes there? The last time you see him before you meet him across the ring?
I didn't see anything special, same as every other fighter. They look in your eyes, they really want to show you how tough they are. It doesn't matter. All that's going to matter is how he looks at me tomorrow, and if he's still looking at me within the 10 rounds.
Are you relaxed at the moment, or is there any nerves bubbling under the surface there?
There's always nerves. I always feel a little bit nervous before any fight. No more than my last fight, no more than the fight before that. But I'm definitely feeling very, very relaxed and happy. I mean, in the build-up to this, I've let certain stuff get to me, blah, blah, blah. But now we're fighting tomorrow. I'm in such a happy, content place, because I know that all the training I've done and how I'm going to execute my game plan tomorrow. So, you know, I'm happy.
When you visualise the fight, do you see it ending by stoppage for you?
Yes, 100%. But when I visualise it, sometimes I get over the top. I think first punch is going to go. But in the different ways I visualise it, yeah, he's finished.
The war of words is finally over. It's fight time now, Isaac. Just how excited are you to get in there?
Finally, the talking is done. Finally, his talking is done. You know, so I honestly can't wait now. The training is over. You know, the talking is over. It's fighting time now. You can see, as you saw on the scales, how I was looking. You know, I'm looking ready, and I've trained. The fight is not won on the night. Of course, it's won on the night. I have to take it, but it's won with the training and how hard I pushed myself in camp. And you know, I did what I had to do.
An intense stare down. What did you see when you looked into his eyes?
You don't have it. You don't have it. I can see through his heart. You know, I can see through his eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. You know, and I can see it's weak. You know, when the pressure comes, I've proved myself. I can come back. He can't.
I personally don't believe that Isaac and I want this to be a boxing match, because they can see the size disparity, my range, my use of distance, the decisions I make. They might not even realise half of the decisions I make, why I made them, but they'll find out come Saturday. So yeah, I think for me, it's probably better if it's a boxing match, because everyone seems to have the wrong end of the stick with skills versus power. I think that I'll show that tomorrow anyway.
It doesn't really matter what everyone else is thinking, as long as I get away with the win. You know, there's the champion's mentality. A champion's mentality is to adapt to whatever is put in front of him, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. No matter what way it comes, he could be even tougher than I expected. So obviously I'll have to nick the rounds and do whatever I have to do. But you know, I know exactly what I'm there to do. I have my great game plan, and it's going to be amazing on Saturday.
Have you got a final message for the fans ahead of tomorrow?
It's going to be amazing. I'm very, very happy, and I'm happy that I'm boxing someone like Isaac, who really wants to win, who everything's on the line for him. And what I see happening is him putting everything on the line, me putting everything on the line, and me just giving the fans and the British public all of myself in that ring for your entertainment. So tune in and have some fun.
With all those sacrifices, have you got a final message to the fans?
Thank you for supporting me. You know, I really appreciate all you guys' support. Tune in tomorrow, baby. It's going to be electric.
So Johnny, you've been there many a time. How will both fighters be feeling now?
These guys are young. These guys, 9 fights, 7 fights. These guys have never had this kind of attention. I know Lawrence Okolie has been involved in the Olympics, so he has that attention, but it's never been solely on him. For Isaac Chamberlain, he's never been in this world. So when they walk in that arena, there's 8,000 people there to watch them. They have come to watch them. That's all everybody's talking about in the street. They can't get away from this. This is going to be a big learning curve for both of them, how they handle this pressure for further down the line. Remember, this is domestic level. They've got to prepare themselves for European and world level, so I think it's a great way to learn.
Because it's quite unusual, isn't it, that two young, hot prospects are meeting so early on in their career.
But it shows they love the game more than the fame. The all means nothing. They think, you know what, I'm going to take the risk. I want to take the risk. I want to have a chance at putting it on the line. And it's not the end of their career. And I think if you're going to make a risk, do it now so you can learn from it.
Do you know what, there is so much to debate around this. So we thought we'd put our man, Johnny Nelson, to the test against a man who's never short of a word or two, Spencer Fearon, and a special guest referee as well.
We are here for the big debate ahead of the big one, Okolie against Chamberlain, the O2 Arena. We thought we'd get two very special, great champions of this noble art together to debate. We couldn't find them, so we got Johnny and Spencer instead. We're talking about flipping coins, who goes first. Your team Chamberlain, your team Okolie. You won a world title. You didn't. So you go first. 30 seconds to tell us why Isaac Chamberlain wins this big British beef battle on Saturday.
History repeating itself. Nigel Benn against Michael Watson. Nigel Benn was a puncher. Michael Watson was a boxer. Totally outboxed him, batting him after 6 rounds. On top of that, it's not just about training the body, it's about training the mind as well. When Isaac Chamberlain's been away as a sparring partner, staying in dirty little bed sits, what has he done? He's trained his mind, he's trained his boxing ability, his skills, and that's what you're going to depend on. If you're just going to go for punch power, you are mad, because the thing is, it's no point in being able to hit hard if there's nothing to hit. He'll get out jabbed, out boxed, outsmarted, and that's why it's going to be hard for him. You've got to be thinking.
Time. Very impressive. I'll tell you what. Let's see what you got. It's the knowledge. 30 seconds. Team Okolie, go.
Speed beats power. Power is very, very relevant in this game. Timing beats speed. Now we gotta look at this. What does Lawrence Okolie bring to the table? He brings all three. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got agility. He's a physically bigger man. He's got longer arms. What does Isaac have to do in this fight? Isaac Chamberlain's gonna have to engage. If he tries to fight a guy who's got longer arms than him at range, he's gonna get outpointed. So he's gonna come in, and when he comes in, he's gonna be committed. He has to commit himself to being punching range. And when he does, that's when that boom's gonna land.
Time.
Don't put your house on it.
I tell you, exciting stuff. I gotta say, in debating terms, I can't believe you've been outspoken. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. Right now, Team Chamberlain seems to be the favourite. Don't miss it, tomorrow night, live on Sky Sports from the O2.
You just about won that one, Johnny.
That's how I roll.
No. Well, as you know, everyone's got strong opinions on this one, including the fans. So, Andy Scott caught up with some of them.
Well, it's a fight that's really caught the imagination of the fans. Let's just see if we can get some predictions here. Excuse me, my friend. Who are you supporting and why at the weekend?
Isaac Chamberlain, he's my stable mate. I trained with him at Miguel's gym, and I think he's going to stop Lawrence in the 8th round.
British beef, who are you picking and why?
I'm going for Okolie. I'm torn because I've met both the guys.
Okolie.
What does he do better than Isaac, do you think?
Just everything. He's better in every department. He's bigger, stronger, fitter.
I think Lawrence is going to outbox him, outclass him, show him up. The pedigree's there, the source is there.
I'm not nervous about the fight. It's not a big deal for me. It's a win, that's it.
I love his attitude, the way he fights, his height, his strength. They've both got so much power.
I think he has much more strength than Chamberlain and more technique.
Okolie's got that long reach. He gets that reach out. Isaac's got no option but to come forward. If he comes forward and lands one of them, it's a good night, I think. They just hate the sight of each other, do you know what I mean? It just makes you think, who's going to get this?
Who do you want to win?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Sending them back to McDonald's. Okolie, when I'm finished with you, you'll be back flipping burgers. Back flipping burgers. Back flipping burgers. Back flipping burgers.
Isaac, February 3rd, the only thing getting flipped is you.
Any chance I can have some cheese with that?
Of course you can have some cheese, man.
Ted Cheeseman showing off his acting skills there, and behind me, he's weighing in ahead of his big test against American tough guy, Carson Jones. And he's got caught up with the big cheese.
So Carson Jones is weighed in at 11 stone, 4 pounds, 8 ounces. That's over the agreed limit. Ted, your immediate reaction to that?
Just unprofessional, but obviously I've made my weight and done my bit, so I'm still fighting for the title, and that's all that matters to me.
How do you see this fight going once the first bell rings?
By that, him turning up like that, he obviously ain't in the right condition, and I just feel as it starts pushing on and getting hard, I'll get him out of there.
A lot of young pros before you have made that mistake though, and he's a bit of a wily veteran. You just got to be careful about that.
Yeah, of course. We'll take every round as it comes. I think when the opportunity comes, I'll get him out there.
Do you think you can make a statement if you could stop him? He's notoriously tough.
Yeah, it'll make a big statement. A lot of people are talking about it if I do it. So that's what I need to do to start pushing on to big things.
Okay, Ted, we wish you the best of luck. Yesterday, Carson Jones was struggling for a cheese pun, so let's just hope the big cheese doesn't melt under the bright lights. You having that, Ted?
Yeah.
So Johnny, Carson Jones, he hasn't made the weight. How do you think that'll affect the fight, or will it?
You know what, I was surprised. I was sat with him yesterday, very, very confident. He sat down and said to me, you know what, they've taken off far too much for this issue. Maybe it's old school tactics. He's thinking, you know what, I just need the win to keep myself relevant. He can't afford to lose to Ted Cheeseman. So this little bit of £2, you may not think it's a big deal, but he needs to make sure he wins to stay relevant at this stage in his career.
And come Saturday night, we're going to learn a whole lot more about Ted Cheeseman, aren't we?
Without a doubt, Ted Cheeseman, I think this is a big shout. I think Ted Cheeseman now is going to have to put everything in his arsenal together for this. Patience, youth, speed, and persistence. And Carson Jones has got to be smart enough to try and outfox him and outmove him. So that's why I think this fight is very, very intriguing.
Do you know what's great about this, Bill? There are so many young fighters in action, aren't there? Reece Bellotti against Ben Jones, and of course another one of Anthony Joshua's protégés, Joshua Buatsi. A huge year ahead for him.
I'm a massive fan of Buatsi. I think Buatsi's attitude is very, very professional. I think he's one of the few fighters that have made that transition from the amateurs to the pros and done it well. He's just like, this is where he belongs. He's the one that everybody says he'll be the one that probably makes it to the very top as a professional. And when you talk to him off camera, you get that feeling.
And at the O2 Arena, it's a big stage for them, isn't it?
You know, I'd be terrified.
Would you?
8,000 people. These guys are relative novices when it comes to professional fighting, but it's 8,000 plus people here to see them. They are centre stage. They've got to deal with this pressure. To me, I think it's a good preparation for if they make the big time in the future.
Right, that is the undercard. Back to our main event, and it is a fight that has got the whole capital talking. Here's Andy Scott.
Risk is the price of progress for cruiserweights Lawrence Okolie and Isaac Chamberlain. Both in the early stages of their careers, two unbeaten youngsters headlining the O2 Arena in a challenge that neither was willing to back down from.
Him and Ted Bammy are both cowards.
I'm going to train so hard, I'm going to knock him out cold.
Either way you want to look at it, you're fighting me February 3rd and you're going to get smoked. Simple.
Yeah? Okay. I'm going to punish you, brother. I'm going to punish you. Look at you, you talk too much.
Many see this as a clash of puncher versus stylist.
Wake up!
Lawrence Okolie has the amateur pedigree. The former Olympian found boxing after being bullied as an overweight youngster. As a professional, guided by Anthony Joshua, he has shown a vicious streak.
I'm not going in there looking for the one big shot. I believe if I land on Chamberlain's chin, he's going to go.
Isaac Chamberlain has the slick skills, which have seen him enlisted as a sparring partner to the likes of Deontay Wilder and Alexander Usyk.
It's good that he disrespected him because he can eat his words on February the 3rd, and obviously that's a lot of pressure. You better back up what you say.
For all of their perceived differences, this is a rivalry not just built on jealousy and envy, but on a desire to be the best in their division. And in that respect, the two have more in common than they might think.
Johnny, so many opinions there in Andy's piece, and on your Twitter account they're getting involved too. You do have some followers, it would seem.
I thought I'd stir the pot a little bit and throw that question out there just to create debate. Let's have the argument.
Well, let's have a look at some of them. Lewis Taylor, this is what he has to say. He says, Chamberlain on points, credit to both taking the fight at this stage of their careers, though there is no losers. Is that?
I get that, because there is no loser, because the loser of the fight, he'll probably learn more from this fight than the winner does, even though the winner gets the bragging rights to say, this is what I've done, I'm king of the hill right now. You lose, it's not the end of the career, it's you go back and you check yourself. Look at what happened with Nigel Benn, Michael Watson. Nigel Benn lost to Michael Watson, went away to America, ended up being world champion, and the rest is history. So for these guys, there is no losers. When it comes to the decision, I think the boxing ability, yeah, I'd probably agree with that, but I've got to be impartial, which I'm struggling to do.
We know. Russell Jagger says, Okolie for me, I think his skill and extra power will tell in the end. Late stoppage he's going for.
That's a 50-50. Power, without a doubt. I totally agree with that. Skill-wise, I think Isaac outfoxes him when it comes down to skill. So I think it's going to be brains against brawns. I think Okolie has what it takes to perform under pressure, but he has that TNT power that can take you all the way through to world level, even if you can't back it up with technical ability.
Okay, Jamie Marsh says, Lawrence Okolie KO rounds are 1 to 4, so he's not going for a long fight.
Chamberlain's team have said the first 3-4 rounds are the most dangerous one. So you know what? I'll agree with them on that one. You can have that one.
All right, okay. Remember to keep across our Facebook and all the Twitter channels to give us your opinion. We want you to get involved. We love hearing from them, don't we?
Bring it on. Argue.
Absolutely.
Argue.
Right. Right, let's head over to Adam Smith now, who's managed to track down Eddie Hearn.
Well, it's quite amazing how big this promotion actually has become. I think, Eddie, when we first talked about this fight, we were looking at York Hall, 1,500 people maybe, 8,000 plus. Why? It's booming, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think it's a great fight between two undefeated young prospects who are meeting probably ahead of their time in their career. And I think that's what's fascinating people, that they're both willing to take a chance at this stage. Bit of needle, Brixton against Hackney. Sets of fans, social media interaction now more than ever. And yeah, I mean, when we were negotiating a fight with their teams, they were telling me, this is an O2 fight, sells out the O2. I said, no way. We went for it, and it's incredible. The atmosphere is going to be unreal on Saturday.
It's all happening out there. It's a different period for our sport.
It is. I think boxing has become very cool. It's become a night out. We've tried to create that experience for the fans, that it's not just about the fights, it's about going out with your friends, having a good time, watching first-class sport as well, but enjoying the atmosphere in the arena, the build-up to the fights, the interaction across social media as well. So boxing's in a great place. I mean, we've got 5 or 6 shows on sale right now, and the ticket sales are just incredible. And right now, from grassroots to elite, this sport is thriving.
Unbelievable at the minute. We want you to get more interactive. Get onto the website and our app. There's a vote going on at the moment. Who wins British beef? It's close. I think Okolie's just about got the edge. You decide. It should be fabulous.
Johnny, we just heard from Eddie there about ticket sales. Does it just go to show how far this sport has come over the last few years?
I think, I'm an old man when it comes to this, but I think this has probably been the best time for boxing in this country alone, because you're getting fights like this. 2 unbeaten young fighters that would have never happened years ago, because promoters are too worried about protecting the old, protecting a young fighter. They want to give the fans what they want. And when you come to events like this, it proves it. The fans want to just see a weigh-in. You've got more people at weigh-ins than you have at some small hall fights, which shows boxing right now is flying in our country, and I'm proud to be involved in it.
And let's not forget as well, Okolie Chamberlain, this was a fight that was talked about originally to be at York Hall, and look at where we are now. We're at the O2 Arena.
When they said the fight, I thought the York Hall's going to be packed out, and then when they said the O2, I thought, that's a big shout. 8,000 tickets plus have gone. I'm quite sure there'll be more walk-ups on the night. I think it just shows how good, how interesting, how intriguing these fights are. But it's also down to the fight, also down to the intrigue of the fight. And so I think this fight has created a topic, created a talking point for the fans to get involved with.
It is a real exciting time. You don't want to miss anything. So remember to subscribe to our brand new boxing YouTube channel for all the latest videos, exclusive interviews and news ahead of our big fights. What a way to start our live 2018 boxing coverage. Stand by for a year to remember and plenty more exciting nights ahead.